Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, March 12th, and I'm coming to you with another edition of Top 5 Wednesdays. So if you don't know, Top 5 Wednesdays is a group that is on Goodreads. It was originally started by Ginger Reads Lainey. I will put a link down in the bottom to her channel. And basically, they pick a topic, and you pick 5 titles that go with that topic. And so I'll also put a link down in the bottom to the Goodreads group for Top 5 Wednesdays. It wasn't originally open to everyone, but they've recently opened up to anyone that to participate. Blech. So if you want to participate and you want to make your own Top 5 Wednesdays videos and join the group, I'll put a link down in the bottom to the group. This Wednesday, the topic is Top 5 Parent or Top 5 Parental Figures. So basically, your 5 favorite parent or parental figures in literature. And I think I have a pretty interesting list. It's kind of hard for me, though, to do these Top 5 Wednesdays because for me, it seems like I'm always featuring the same book. So I'm trying to think outside the box and get some different books since I don't have the same books in every video. But let me just go ahead and get started. So for number 5 for me is The Book Thief, which I just finished and did a review on. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. The parents, Hans and Rosa Huberman, they're the ones, the foster parents of Liesel Meminger, the main character of the book. And I like them as parents because I feel like they showed her how to be human in such a difficult time. And they just encouraged, I love the papa because he encouraged her love of reading, and they were the classic kind of good guy, bad guy parent. The mom, I never got I never got the notion that the mom wasn't a good mom. I mean, she was very strict and she was very kind of hard and a little mean. But sometimes I think as moms, we kind of have to be that way. And so I never felt like she was a bad mom or Rosa Huberman didn't love Liesel. I just felt like she loved Liesel in her own way. And I felt like the time frame that it was set in, it's set in the 1930s in Germany, or 1940s rather, in Germany during World War II. And you kind of had to be tough. And so I loved Rosa Huberman, honestly, as a mom. I never felt like she was a bad mom. I really felt like she loved Liesel. And I felt like she was just such a character of strength in a very difficult time, and you know how she just held things together and kind of kept the family going and just rolled with the punches. And I loved Papa because he was that classic just parent that you loved, and he encouraged her reading, and he encouraged her just being a child, and you know, and it was just very reassuring and very comforting for her. And I just thought they were a really, really great team together. I thought they were kind of like the yin and yang, and they were really great parents to Liesel, great foster parents for her to, you know, go to their home, especially because she wasn't their child, but the love that they exhibited toward her was very, very touching. And so that's my number 5 pick. For number 4, I'm going to go with, this isn't my last video, but whatever. It's one of my favorite books. J.R.R. Tolkien, The Fellowship of the Ring, Bilbo Baggins. I love Bilbo Baggins. I love the love that he had for Frodo. I love how he fostered Frodo's sense of adventure, and he had all these stories to tell him, and you can just tell that he really, really cared about Frodo, and, you know, he really looked out for him, and Frodo was very important to him and very special to him. And so I love Bilbo Baggins as a parental figure, so to speak, for Frodo. So number 3, this is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Not this particular book in general, but Arthur and Molly Weasley. I loved Arthur and Molly Weasley as parents. I loved how that Harry just became one of their own children. I love how they took care of their own kids. I love that they were just regular salt of the earth kind of people. And, you know, Arthur Weasley was kind of a little nerdy, and you know, Molly was a little kind of dowdy and frumpy, but they were very, very, they really stuck their neck out for their family, you know, and their family just didn't include the kids. They really took in Hermione, they took in Harry, they treated them as if they were their own kids, and they would send them presents and do things for them for their birthday and stuff, and they were just such great parents. I loved Arthur and Molly Weasley, and I loved their inclusion in the whole Harry Potter story, and how they really did become kind of surrogate parents for him because, he was an orphan and they just took him on. And so I would definitely have to put them in here as a top 5 parents. So, number 2 is Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Who doesn't love Atticus Finch? I mean, seriously, and the thing was, he wasn't your typical parent. He was older. He didn't play with the kids. He was kind of, not stern, but a little, I guess maybe, I wouldn't even say taciturn. He was just a very quiet but strong presence in their lives. And he taught them so many wonderful lessons about life and about being human. And at a time when he could have thought about his own kids and spared them just the things that they went through with him taking on that trial of the colored man and defending him, and the fact that he did not spare his kids because he wanted to show them that, you have to do the right thing sometimes, even at a great sacrifice to yourself. It was such a wonderful lesson to his children, and he was such a model of grace under fire. And so he was just a wonderful, wonderful parent. I honestly would have loved to have been married to Atticus Finch. Seriously, I have a crush on him because he was just such a stand-up guy, and I really loved Atticus Finch, and so I definitely would have to include him. And then my number 1 pick is probably going to be really, 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 really odd, but I had to put this as number 1. I knew when I was picking these out that this one was going to be number 1, and that is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, Haymitch. Which I know some of you are probably like, what? Because he was a total drunk and just not a good example of a person. But I loved Haymitch. Honestly, I loved Haymitch because he was so very human. And he just did not sugarcoat anything for them. He was very blunt. He was very real. But he really did stick his neck out there for those kids. And honestly, I don't think that they would have gotten through all the things that they went through in the Hunger Games if Haymitch was not on their side. They just could not have done it without Haymitch. He was the person that they needed to get through the Hunger Games. And I love the relationship between him and Katniss because it wasn't tender, but it was loving. It wasn't a tender relationship. He's not a tender guy, but he was very loving. And I think sometimes that we forget that parents are adults. I think we forget that, parents, sometimes I feel like teachers too, we kind of forget that they are adults. They've lived adult lives. They've had things happen to them. And so they have to try to cope with the things that they've gone through and still, impart wisdom and care and things to their children. And, some of us do better than others. And so, I love that he was very real and very human. And, he wasn't the tenderest person in the world, but, he did his job. And he really did come to care for those kids. And even sometimes when they just did not see where he was going, he always had a plan. And usually he was right. And so I absolutely adored Haymitch. He's probably one of my favorite literary characters, even with his old drunken self. So, those are my picks for Top 5 Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really excited to see some of the other videos. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, great, great week. Enjoy your reading, happy loving, happy laughing, happy living. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.